And let's bring in our panel again to discuss the breaking news out of Israel. Hamas saying they will release hostages and accept any proposal if the ceasefire can be resumed. Rick Leventhal, host of the Leventhal Report here, author of the book Chasing Catastrophe, and Batya Ungar-Sargon, also the author of the book Second Class, How the Elites Betrayed America's Working Men and Women. What a significant week here. We see President Trump, moving forward with a peace deal with Putin, and now it seems Hamas, after a few days of getting, IDF treatment, they say, yes, we'll accept any proposal if there's a ceasefire. Batya, talk about the significance here on a global stage, and also what appears to be Donald Trump, whether dovetailing off the Houthis attacks, showing Iran what the West is capable of and what they are willing to do.
Thank you so much for having me. I think this just proves yet again President Trump's view that you get peace through strength and not through weakness. From the beginning of this war, Israel has been pressured to pull its punches, but we have seen that every time the IDF engages in a significant onslaught, Hamas gets unbelievably scared and comes to the table to negotiate and make deals for remaining hostages. So the fact that we now have a U.S. administration that has Israel's back completely and cares and is deeply invested in the lives of those hostages and in bringing this war to a close, not through submission, but through strength, it's extremely, extremely significant. And I just feel so grateful to God and so grateful to the administration for having such a clear-eyed view of the path to ending the bloodshed, which is through strength and not through weakness.
Rick, there are living hostages. President Trump has, since just the day before his swearing-in ceremony, that's when we started to see them come home. Huge significance today. Hamas says they are willing to release Israeli hostages. Obviously, Steve Witkoff's done a lot of work here as well and been extremely successful as a diplomat here. And really not a diplomatic role, but President Trump putting together his team, especially here in the Middle East.
I think the biggest challenge here is that you're not dealing with a normal, level-headed adversary who's like-minded and ready to make a deal for the right reasons. Hamas is built on its hatred for Israel and wants the destruction of Israel ultimately, and will do or say anything to try and get out of a tough situation. But ultimately, they could have given those hostages back day one. They could have never kidnapped people in the first place, but they've held them for almost a year and a half. We don't know how many are alive and how many are dead, but we do know they have been horribly mistreated, and Hamas is not anyone who can be trusted. Their members have taken off their uniforms and put their guns away for now, and they're hiding amongst the people. But ultimately, they just want the death of Israel, and they'll say or do anything to try and stop the bombardment, but who knows what they're going to do down the road.
Yeah, well said. Let's talk a little bit. Batya, you were just talking about an administration that cares and cares on many levels. Back here at home, what is the care when we see judges continuing to combat and slow down what the administration is trying to do? The EPA wants to recover $20 billion in these climate grants. Lee Zeldin says now that they're being blocked because of Tanya Chutkan. We all remember her, the D.C. judge Obama appointed. All of this is also, as the EPA in just a short amount of time, I mean, we're only in March, they found that Stacey Abrams got $2 billion as a pass-through entity for Biden's EPA $20 billion, scheme there. They've got all this, corruption that they're uncovering. And now a judge goes in and says, can't do it. Another legal challenge for President Trump and his team, Batya.
It's very dispiriting to see. And, the Democrats are saying, well, the judiciary has to be independent, an independent branch of government. Okay, I hear that. Yes, that's true. That's what the founding fathers wanted. I respect that. But what is your answer for a clearly activist judiciary, right? Like, what is their response to what is clearly a branch of government that will simply oppose everything the administration does? I just feel like there should be some sort of common sense, common ground way of addressing this, if only they would admit to problems on their side, and they just never will.